Steve McQueen had the image: cool, untouchable, the guy who made motorcycles, muscle cars, and sunglasses look effortless. But off-screen was a different story. He was paranoid, competitive, and constantly worried he'd be exposed as a fraud. "I'm not a great actor. Let's face it," he once said. "There are certain things I can do, but when I'm bad, I stink." And when that insecurity mixed with his ego and a lot of Hollywood bravado, it led to some legendary feuds. Two actors in particular got the worst of it. One was a fellow superstar whose career he saw as a direct threat. The other, a Hollywood powerhouse who made the mistake of trying to control him. Steve McQueen and Paul Newman should have been friends. They were both car-obsessed, effortlessly charismatic, and at the top of their game in the 60s and 70s. But Hollywood only had room for one king of cool, and neither was about to step aside. Things hit a boiling point when they both signed on to the towering inferno. Right away, McQueen started playing the numbers game, literally. He demanded exactly as many lines as Newman. When he found out Newman had a slight advantage in screen time, he had the script rewritten to balance it out. McQueen asked screenwriter Sterling Silliphant to add exactly 12 more lines of dialogue, just so that he would have the exact same as Newman's co-protagonist. It was that petty. Newman was furious, calling McQueen's antics chicken shit on set. Their rivalry turned the production into a cold war, with neither willing to be outshined. Simply put, it was a dick-measuring contest like no other. And it didn't start with the towering inferno. McQueen had been holding a grudge ever since he lost the role of Sundance in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid to Newman. At the end of the day, the only thing either of them won was a headache. The Towering Inferno was a hit. Shot on a budget of $14 million, it ended up as the highest-grossing film of 1974, earning $203 million and 8 Oscar nominations. But McQueen and Newman's little ego contest made sure they'd never work together again. Now, if McQueen's feud with Newman was a Cold War, his beef with Brynner on The Magnificent Seven was a full-on guerrilla campaign. Brynner was the undisputed star of the movie. It was his project, his name above the title. But the moment McQueen stepped on set, he made it his personal mission to steal every scene they shared. And he was good at it. Brynner had a very particular way of working. He wanted actors to stay still when he spoke, let him command the frame. McQueen did the opposite. He'd fidget, adjust his hat, play with his gun, anything to pull focus away from Brynner, and it drove the guy insane. Then there was the height issue. Brynner was notoriously sensitive about it. He'd build little dirt mounds to stand on during outdoor shots, so naturally, McQueen made a habit of casually kicking them over whenever he walked past. He later said, "We didn't get along. Brynner came up to me in front of a lot of people and grabbed me by the shoulder. He was mad about something. When you work in a scene with Yul, you're supposed to stand perfectly still, 10 feet away. Well, I don't work that way." And McQueen certainly wasn't prepared to tolerate being manhandled by his co-star. "Take your hands off me," I said. What had I got to lose from a little fight? I've got a busted nose and teeth missing, and I'm deaf in the right ear. Even The Magnificent Seven turning McQueen into a household name didn't smooth things over. The bad blood lasted for decades. It wasn't until Brynner was dying of cancer that McQueen finally called him. He admitted, "You could have had me kicked off that movie when I rattled you, but you didn't. And that film made me, so, thanks." Brynner accepted the apology, but Paul Newman never let it go.